This is Trent Emenecker. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave your name and number. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, Alex.
Hi,
hello.
Ben.
Welcome. You have now entered the Please Don't Call Me podcast zone. Pew, 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 pew. That kind of sounds like Star Wars entering a zone. But anyway, welcome to the podcast. How are you, Alex? How are things in the Athens, Georgia area?
They're kind of gloomy, not gonna lie. We had a beautiful week last week and it was in the 70s, high 70s and sunshiny, and I think everybody just felt like this glimmer of hope.
Fall spring.
And I was like, we're in the South, maybe it's not fall spring, and then it hit us this week. We have just had rain, and I'm pretty sure all the grass has officially washed out in our little backyard area. It's just, I was looking at it today, it is truly just all red clay, and that's it. So there's been a lot of rain, and it's not, I don't think it's raining today, but it's just gloomy, and sometimes we get bursts of sunlight, but it's very short-lived. So
Yeah, well, it's glorious down here,
sure,
as usual. Yep, this is the best time of year in the old South Florida. So while we are post Valentine's Day, hope your Valentine's Day went well, everyone. Alex, did you do anything fun?
I went to the dermatologist.
Ooh, that would fit right in with what Mom and I did.
Yeah, so I had an appointment at the dermatologist and then the dentist. So, because I didn't have school.
Well, you know how to live.
So I had the day off. So naturally I had to pack my appointments in. And I will spare you all the details, but neither of those were fun experiences.
No.
So, and then I was pretty tired after that. And yeah, we just hung out at home. Ben got me a giant Reese's heart. Like, I didn't know they made them like this big, and
1 pounder.
It's huge. So, I'm gonna have to pace myself on that one. But yeah, we just hung out at home, and we were smart. We're not going on our like Valentine's date until Monday. So we're gonna, all the crowds are gone. It'll be great. What did you do?
Your mother and I went, so we're trying to do the whole letter dates, A, B. You'd try to do something that's an A, a B, a C. We're on the letter D, as in dog. So we went to Dania Point, which is down, I don't know, Fort Lauderdale-ish, outside place where you walk around. They have live music. They had a market going on.
Is that where the giant sand Christmas tree was that one year? Well, this is a different place? Okay.
No. Yes. We could have gone there, too, because that's Delray Beach. But we always go to Delray Beach. So we went to Dania Point, and we went, what was the other D? We ate at a place called Dickie's Barbecue Pit or something. So that was pretty good, except there were middle schoolers hanging about, which just didn't need that, but that's okay. So we ate there, and then we went to Häagen-Dazs.
Okay.
We didn't acknowledge the Hagen. Hagen. We only acknowledged the Das. So we did that. So it was fun. We did the letter D. We just went down there and walked around. It was a great night, and ate and walked and watched people, which is probably our favorite thing to do. There's tons of people there. So
awesome.
So that was fun.
I heard the night before Valentine's Day, you watched La La Land finally.
I did.
Without giving it away, I want to know your thoughts.
They tried to cram too many artistic things into one movie. Are we going to have weird camera angles? Are we going to have those close-up deals with everything goes black and it's just the person's face? Are we going to be color coordinated or not? Is it a jazz movie or is it a show tunes movie? I felt like there were too many things crammed into that movie. I think most people are probably bothered by the ending. I wasn't. That's life. Hey, that's life. that's how life is, and that's how
Did
life
you cry?
is. So, no, because they didn't do a good enough job to make me cry. I didn't feel the need.
Really?
Everything's fine.
Did anybody else watching the movie with you cry?
Well, the boys can barely watch. They just sit there and sob through the whole thing. Good Lord. I thought they were grown men at this point. But
Tyler sent me a picture. Well, Josiah texted, and we have a siblings group chat, and Josiah texted, he was like, Mom and Dad are forcing us to watch La La Land. And I was like, yeah, right, because I know he loves that movie. And I think Addison sent a text and was like, did you cry though? And Tyler sent us a selfie, and his eyes are just like red. He's like, no, I didn't cry.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Emma Stone.
She's an excellent. I just saw her. Well, what was she in The Help? Yeah, she can be many different things. She's excellent.
I like her a lot.
Ryan Gooseberry or whatever his name is wasn't my favorite.
That was the first movie I had ever seen him in. And I think I've only seen him in like 3 movies now at this point. But I had never seen him in a movie, and he was so hyped up, and so I was just expecting him to be fantastic. He was okay. Like, I didn't dislike him, but I wasn't like, oh, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he was fine. Not great. The jazz was excellent. The show tune's not. They could have not had any of those songs in there, and it wouldn't have bothered me one bit. So, but I did like the jazz. That was interesting.
Good. I'm glad you watched it.
Yep. Didn't change my life though. I know it has other people, but didn't do that for me. But it was good. I enjoyed it. All right. Speaking of Valentine's Day, I like to do public service announcements to help people out, help out the fellas, as I like to say. So let's just say you didn't have the best Valentines, and that's happened to me before. So early on in marriage, I didn't know the ground rules of Valentine's Day. So some years it was, we're getting a present. I think we talked about this in our Valentine's. Some years you're in our Valentine's episode. Some years it's just a card. Sometimes it's just being together. Well, I've missed it. Just didn't know, or I didn't get the vibe. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So if you've messed up with Valentine's, I think one of the best ways to recover from that is to send small animals, otters, baby pandas. Animals could we do? Otters are really the best. Maybe hedgehogs. People like baby hedgehogs, like flittering about, playing together. 2 little pandas playing together. Otters swimming around, doing things otters do. Start sending those to the person you offended on Valentine's Day, and it'll warm their heart. It'll break the coldness of their heart.
The actual so just say, animal?
Sorry.
Or video?
Video. Oh, Alex.
I didn't know where you were going with this.
Unrealistic. I think that would work, but you'd probably break some local regulation. But yeah, you could just no, Alex, find them on YouTube and send them 2 baby otters playing together, swimming on their backs, cracking shells, eating oysters or whatever your favorite baby donkeys.
Oh, baby donkeys.
You can have baby donkeys bounce or baby goats. You can even mix. One of our favorites are Great Pyrenees when they're sleeping.
With a little lamb.
Amidst lambs or goats, and they just let the lambs and goats jump all over them because that's how awesome. We have to do a whole show.
I could talk about Great Pyrenees for hours. I'm very passionate about it.
Folks, it's a great idea. So use it. Send. If you're in trouble today, just send some cool.
So that's it. You just send those, and then that's it. You're just softening them up. You're not gonna like follow up and try to fix it.
And then you apologize. To try and apologize right away. And part of it is you're acknowledging that you messed up. If you send baby donkeys playing in a field, your lady friend is going, oh, he realizes he's an idiot. And so it's a good way just to break things up a little bit.
I like it.
Okay, there's my public service announcement. How about that Super Bowl? We know we're way behind everybody, but hey, we film once a week. So you get what we want to talk about. I was bored out of my mind. We had Super Bowl of nachos at our young adult. We lead a young adult Bible study. Super Bowl of nachos party, and I ate so many nachos. I didn't sleep the next night, and it wasn't because of the Super Bowl. It was due to indigestion.
Oh my word!
But what'd you think? Did you guys watch it?
We did. We were late, so we missed the first. I don't know how much we missed. Probably the whole first quarter.
Okay.
But we did get to our friend's house and got to watch. They had bingo cards. Our friends, Johnny and Eva, had made bingo cards, and they were really fun. It had stuff to do with the actual game, but also commercials or like celebrity sightings or different stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. I had never done that before. Yeah, it's kind of nice when you don't really care about the teams.
Right. Because it doesn't matter
who
you lose, you're fine.
Yeah, which we definitely, everybody there was kind of hoping the Eagles would win. I feel bad. I think just nothing against the Chiefs. It's just you want the underdog, you know? You don't want to see the same person win 3 years in a row.
Right.
So I think everybody there was more on the Eagles side. But again, if the Chiefs had won, we would have all been fine with it. You know, nobody really cared. So we were just able to have fun, eat some good food. Yeah, I made I think you like this, the brownie trifle dessert. I wish it was on a Saturday, or we need a national holiday the day after, because it's just, it was late. I kind of almost fell asleep on my friend's couch. Yeah. I did fall asleep in the car on the way home. And we didn't even stay for the whole game. I was just so tired. I'm like, I wish it was a Saturday, because then I would have felt like I was able to enjoy it more. But
yeah, good. Well, it's tough to watch because of so many commercials. The average NFL game, there are too many commercials. Well, now when you add even more commercials, the breaks are longer in between, because they got to get more commercials in. They have to make their money. And then halftime is way too long, because they got to run out all the stages and stuff, and then have the halftime show, and then do all the talking about the first half, which no one remembers because it was so short. There's very little football played. You know, there's only about 11 minutes of game action played. I think it's like 11 minutes and 20 seconds or something in an average football game. And it took 4 hours. That's crazy. So we were with you, watched about halftime. I got sucked into the Kendrick Lamar.
Did you like it?
Thing. Visually, people really beat it up. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't understand one word he said.
Yeah.
And apparently he had to, they were on purpose, not bleeping. There was no beeping, but they scrub out the language. I don't know. So I didn't understand one word, but visually I thought it was pretty cool. Red, white, blue. I thought
it was cool. And the game, it kind of looked like a game controller with the X and the O and the triangle. And yeah,
there were people moving around.
It was cool. And then Serena Williams.
Everybody was clothed.
Yes.
So I appreciated that. So I made a joke about that. We were at the young adult, and I go, oh, look, Serena Williams. I was being funny. Well, like the next day I found out via social media that was Serena
Ben
Williams.
Didn't think it was her. He's like, no, it's just supposed to look like her. And
so I was pretty
Do you
cool.
know why she was probably
knowing
there?
It was her. Okay. I have no idea. She probably got lost and ended up on that stage.
Just crip walking?
She was looking for she was up in her suite, and she was looking for the bathroom, got lost, and she was standing on one of those stages
as it got rolled out.
And there she was. Well, and she knows what to do. She's been in front of a TV. Guy came walking over to her, and she danced a little jig. So I think it was absolutely accidental.
Oh, well, I read online that, so I don't know if you know this. I don't mean to insult you by this.
Don't.
But Kendrick Lamar and Drake, do you know who Drake is?
I do.
Okay. They had beef. Like they
Where did
had
they get it? Like at Dickie's barbecue pit?
not that kind of beef. They had a big like fight or rivalry or something.
Oh, they don't like. So they're fighting over street cred,
Probably,
something like
and I don't know. I don't understand. But they wrote like diss tracks about each other. I think they wrote whole albums like against each other. And like I guess based on what I read this week, I think Kendrick Lamar ended up on top. Like, which I'm surprised because
he won the
yeah, because I can name maybe like 3 Drake songs. So like I know Drake better. Kendrick Lamar, I only knew he existed because he did a song with Taylor Swift. I was kind of surprised Kendrick Lamar won because Drake is like the bigger one in my mind. But I guess Serena Williams is rumored to have dated Drake at some point. So she was there on stage dancing during one of the songs that was dissing her ex. That is what I heard. But I like the getting lost on the way to the bathroom theory better. I think we should go with that. We'll just cut out what I just said.
Yeah, poor thing. Just because she's a great tennis player doesn't mean she's good with directions. Could have gotten lost.
She's a good dancer, though. I was impressed. I was like, you go, girl. I like it.
Yeah, well, her hair was flittering about. That's all I saw. So, but yeah, it was okay, man. But I was pretty neutral until the next day. He took an absolute beating. He's in a meme. There's a meme of him standing in front of all sorts of things, doing that dance with his jacket. I don't quite get it, but he did not survive that on the social media.
Really? I didn't know that. People are like, I'm not on social media right now, so I was just like, that was pretty good. Like, I have no clue what you said. I don't know any of those songs.
But it wasn't offensive.
Yeah, I was just like, well, that was entertaining. Like, it held my attention, but
I'm sure somebody will actually ask, well, the meaning of that song. Again, I had no idea what he was saying. Pretty much everything, just so I don't blame him. Back to La La Land, listening to that, I had no idea what they were singing. I can't hear words from singers anymore.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't.
So I don't want to blame my guy Kendrick. He's not my guy.
I couldn't recognize a single one of his songs. A couple of the people I was with, even Ben, they were like, "Oh yeah, this one's good," and I'm like, I have never. There was one.
I thought it was.
There was one. Yeah, I said that. I was like, honestly, you could have told me this has just been one really long song, and I would have believed you because I had no clue. Because they're like, "Oh, remember this one? This came out like forever ago." I had no clue.
My biggest comment, telling me how hip I am, was his bell-bottom jeans. What?
Yeah.
That even I knew he shouldn't wear.
I think they're coming back.
Jeans. I mean, they were massive. And I was just at American Eagle yesterday, and I didn't see any bell-bottom jeans.
I never had bell-bottoms, but I had like boot-cut jeans from American Eagle, like those 2010s. Those were the thing. So I think because the 90s came back, and then the early 2000s, we might be moving. It's like we're going to be all caught up with ourselves here soon. But I think the 2010s fashion is coming back.
All right, let's do a big topic switch, Alex. So I've had a couple things come up in the last week or two that have sent me down a road. And I think now we could have gone out and gotten psychologists and neuroscientists. We could have really did a deep dive, but that would be boring. Why don't we just guess?
Us just guessing is more fun.
Yes, us guess what's happening. And then people can come on and into our chat,
our comments,
into our comments, and they can correct us or go, "What are you nuts?" But yeah, so this is more fun. Now, if we really get interest, or if we have a neurologist listening, we'd love to have you on. But I'm concerned with my loss of sixth sense. So I think I used to be very cat-like in my agility. I used to be aware of my surroundings. This is a very important thing in athletics. And you are married. I almost said date. You're married to a coach. I coached and played, and I am highly concerned with
Mm-hmm.
athletics. So there's sixth sense in athletics, knowing where you are. There's all sorts of them, and I think I'm losing them. Here's why: I am getting what's it called, a jump scare. It happens to me multiple times a day. So I have an office. I will come around a corner, and somebody will be standing there, and I literally like throw my arms up in the air. If I'm holding paper goes flying. I fly backwards. I'm getting scared, spooked all the time. I don't think my sixth senses are working.
Are they
Uh,
trying to scare you, or they're just like coming around the
no,
corner
no,
and
no.
you
They're, in fact,
overreact?
I can tell I bother them. It's like I don't even know they work in the same office as me. That's how scared I get because I am so focused on whatever this invoice or this call. I'll come around the corner and not even know there are other people on the planet. That is what it looks
Okay.
like. They get really mad at me. I can tell. They're like, "Are you kidding?" Especially your mom. I should be thinking of her at all times. I am aware of that. But she will come into my office and I just jump almost out of my chair. So I think I'm having, and I'm just getting old. Like I like running and walking, and I am tripping a lot.
Oh,
So yeah, there I'm having perception issues. So I looked it up. Can you lose your sixth senses? Well, there's a lot more than six. So I'm going to just run down a few of them, and then we're gonna give uh, some very
so these are
scientific
like
insight into
legitimate
what we
things
think.
that people consider six.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
oh
okay.
yeah, this is real. I just want to know if you still have them, so on and so forth. So it's called the science of odd senses. That's what I'm thinking of. So you have the five: sight, hearing, touch, taste,
Mm-hmm.
smell. But there are some other things that are considered senses. Here we go. In fact, we would need a scientist just to properly pronounce these, but I'm going to do my best. All right. So the first one is proprioception. Proprioception or proprioception.
Okay.
Okay. This is the one that most people consider the sixth sense. It's the body's ability to sense its position, motion, equilibrium. So this is one of the things that made me think of it. So have you seen that challenge going on the internet where people put a little box, they blindfold somebody, they put them inside a little tape
Yes,
box
and
on
you
the
try to.
floor, and they have a
Mm-hmm.
march, and you can have music on or whatever, and you're supposed to march for 1 minute, and people swear that they stay inside the box. They march up and down, and you'll say, "How'd you do?" "Oh, great! I didn't move 1 inch." And well, in a video, you see they are all over the place. It can be some people can be one or
But
two
some are
feet
like
outside the
several
box.
feet and completely turned
There are
around
people
too.
leaving the room. Like if they were on a skyscraper, they would walk right off. So it is that big a deal. Then I saw a guy, he's called Skyscraper. Oh, what's his name? But he's a skyscraper guy. And back in the 70s and 80s, he would work on skyscrapers with no hooks, no safety equipment, because he never, well, obviously he never fell because he was still alive. But he would walk across the I beams. You can see it on the internet. There's footage of him working on I beams hundreds of feet in the air,
Oh,
and
like building a skyscraper.
yeah, building skyscrapers, no perception issues whatsoever. Walking on the I beams,
Mm-mm.
carrying equipment, welding, never would wear
Oh, that
safety
makes my
equipment.
feet sweat.
So it's called proprioception. And it's how your muscles, your tendons, your joints work together to have the proper position, proper motion, and proper equilibrium. How are you? Now, you're a dancer. Your days of dancing, um, I used to love watching you dance. Do you have good proprioception? I've already said that thing 4 different ways, but I don't care. Proprioception, are you
I
good at it?
think so. I'm not the guy walking on the I beams. Like I don't think I have
Mm-hmm.
fantastic proprioception. I feel like if I had done more sports, I probably would have developed that more. Because
Yes.
but I do think dancing gives you a little bit of that. And I think of this as like spatial awareness. So I do think I have a pretty good spatial awareness, but like I'll be watching a basketball game and sometimes these guys know where the other guy is. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know the guy was there. And you're just like, how does that happen? I so I, I think on like a scale of 1 to 5, I'm like a 3 on proprioception.
Okay. I used to be probably, what are you using as
1
a
to
scale?
5.
5?
I bet you were a 5.
Oh, I was
Really?
a 4.5. Oh man, I knew everything was. I didn't fall down. I could stay on my feet, get knocked over. People try to knock you over in soccer. I could stay on my feet. My hand-eye coordination is still epic. I still have great hand-eye coordination, but everything else I think is falling. I bang into more stuff. No kidding. Just yesterday, I walked into a filing cabinet. I mean, I hit it. There was a loud bang to the point where your mother in another office said, "Are you okay?" Like, what just happened? So I'm not very good at it. But you can test your proprioception by blindfolding yourself and standing on one leg and seeing
How long?
can you last 10 seconds? Can you last 15 seconds? Can you last 30 seconds? That's a great test. Another one is, this one's interesting. It's called the joint position sense. So you're blindfolded again, and someone will move your arm to a specific position while your eyes are closed. So they'll take your arm and put it in a 90-degree angle or maybe a 45-degree angle. And then you're supposed to do the same thing with your other arm to see if they're equal. Now, this is common in older folks. I'm not there yet. I can probably do that. But you can really see if you're able to position accurately your proprioception skill by placing your arms in certain positions. But that's one, I swear, that's an age. It just starts to go away.
Interesting. That reminds me of, I did this thing last year. Well, this is something me and my friends used to do, but I taught it to my students last year. Is when someone lays on the ground, like kind of like Superman style, like on your stomach with your arms out. And what I did is you grab the person by their hands or like by the wrist, and you lift their hands up so that like most of their chest is up off the ground and their head, but everything else like waist down is still on the ground, and you hold them there for a while. And then you slowly lower their hands down to the ground, and it feels like you're falling through the floor, like to the person there, because you forget where the floor is. Even though half of your body is touching the floor, when it comes down, you like truly, like I have kids like try to like stop me or like flinch because they feel like they're falling through the floor.
That's got to be it. That's proprioception.
I think it has to be the same. Like you just don't realize like where your body is in relation to the ground. So that sounds very similar.
Yeah. All right. So that's one of the 6 senses. The next one I had a lot of contact with this week. It's called interoception. So what do you hear intero? What are you thinking? If that one was proprioception and it was outside of you,
I was going to say something sensing something inside your body
is knowing what's going on inside your body. So some of the things that interoception is regarded to, and this is, again, I lived this. I'm living science every day. We all are, but I'm being very aware of it. I'm living science. It can be senses involving perception of your internal state of your body, including hunger, thirst, sensing your heartbeat, and other internal sensations. So the biggest one, if someone, here's what you do. When somebody says, "I'm hangry," you say to them, "Oh, very good interoception on your part." Now, if they're hangry, they're probably going to try to punch you. And that would be proprioception. They're going to lash out with their joints and their spatial awareness. So be very careful when you say this. But when someone says, "I'm hangry, I need some food," you can try and calm them. Just say, "Hey, calm down." You're using your interoception. I'm sure that'll work well. But feeling hunger, feeling thirst. You can feel your heartbeat. If you slow yourself down, sit quietly, take a deep breath, you can eventually count your heartbeats.
I think that makes sense.
In fact, there are probably people doing that right now, listening to this podcast. Like, I am so bored out of my mind that I'm going to put myself in a state where I can count my heartbeats. That's probably taking place right now, but wake up, everybody. Interoception. So, Alex, what is your interoception skills?
I think I'm pretty good at this. Like, I think I might be a 4.5. I feel like I'm very aware of what's going on inside my body, probably to the point that it's annoying because I know I'm going to be sick before I ever really start to show symptoms. Like, I can immediately just like feel it or things like that. I know I'm like, oh, I have some, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I can instantly like feel that my body's fighting something. It's funny because you said being able to sense your heartbeat, and I was like, yeah, I've done that. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I guess that's not a super duper normal thing to be able to sense it, but I can't, so I feel like I'm pretty good at this. You're not? You said you struggled with this week?
No, I encountered
you encountered it.
because your mother, Natalie, was hangry. And I wish I'd have known this information. I could have said, oh, you're dealing with your interoception. So there are things about eating where you can slow down your eating. You think you're hungry, so you eat super fast and then you over consume. There's all sorts of things you can do that are benefits interoception. But I thought the one about feeling your heartbeat is pretty cool, and being hangry. Most of us, probably the one that people deal with, the one that is the worst for people is thirst. That'll get you before hunger will. And people don't know when they're thirsty. They don't. You have to concentrate on your thirst levels because usually it's too late. When you start to become dehydrated, it's too late.
Interesting.
So let's all, if we learn nothing today, let's learn to be introspective about our
this
thirst
is something
levels.
you should have. Like, it's important for you. Like, it's essential for
Absolutely.
you. So there are literally, so you're saying there are people that literally don't even know they're thirsty until they're at the point of being like severely hydrated.
It's too late.
I do not relate.
That's right.
I do not relate to that at all. No, I can't. No, I
enough.
know when I'm thirsty, and I'm thirsty a lot. I drink a lot of water.
No, but that's too late. No, what I would say is, Alex, actually, that's too late. When you know you're thirsty, you've gone too far. You've got to be in a state of not thirsty.
You need to be drinking so much water that you're never thirsty.
That's right. Man, I am.
You're
PhD
blowing minds here
today. All right. We got to go faster through these. There's thermoception. What do you think about that? What is that?
And I hope my students called that out if they're listening, because we learned about the Latin root therm, which means heat. Yep. Good job, kids.
But it is hot or cold. Your ability to sense hot or cold. And then this one is very much uncontrolled. What's the fancy word? But you don't control this necessarily all the time. It's what your body does. Involuntary, yeah. Or part of your brain that doesn't need to be told what to do. There's a word there. But it is what your body does experiencing hot or cold temperatures. Now, there are cultural things that happen. Some people, will dress differently based on where they are. Like, most people are surprised how many clothes are worn in desert regions, but it's something you should do because you're keeping the sun off of you. It actually helps you regulate your temperature. So there are cultural things that you can control, but thermoception is how your body handles temperature. And when things go bad is when you get sick or when you're in danger. So if you're in the desert and you stop sweating, is that good or bad, Alex? That's really bad. Your body's shutting down. If you're out in the cold and you don't feel cold anymore, is that good or bad?
Bad. You're probably frostbitten.
That's bad because that's right. You're starting to lose. So there's thermoception, the sense of temperature and how we can work with that. All right. That was a fun one. Nocioception or I don't know. No, there is no O. Nociception.
N-O-C.
That doesn't mean you don't have any.
Or
Nociception.
Does it have to do with like nocturnal, like night and days?
No, I thought so too, but that's not it.
What is it?
It's the detection of pain stimuli.
Oh.
Your sense of pain.
Yeah, some people don't have that.
Touch something hot, how quickly you react. So, do you have a low? And this is a real thing. You can have a low tolerance of pain, a middle tolerance, or high. What is yours? Your pain tolerance like?
I've always thought I had a high pain tolerance, but my experience at the
Mm-hmm.
dentist yesterday makes me think otherwise. Because a
dentist will test your nocioception.
Legitimately felt like I was being tortured for 3 hours. Who has a dentist appointment that's 3 hours long? Just me. That is
way too long.
It was.
It's not nocio. It's nociception.
Nociception.
Noctiception. So yeah, you thought you did until you went to. Did you get?
No, it was just a cleaning, Dad.
Oh, you still took a beating.
I think
wow. You're in there with
the lady was really sweet. I think she might struggle with the first one we talked about, like the spatial awareness and hand-eye coordination. I think
she elbowing you in the side of the head. She was fitting her whole fist in your
pretty
mouth.
much, but she just kept hitting my gums a lot. And at first I was like, don't react. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. And then I was like, no, it cannot be like this. And so I started to react. She's like, I know it hurts. I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, stop hurting me. But I know she's just trying to do her job. But I kind of felt like,
I'm working on my pain stimuli. Please stop. My nociception.
So.
All right. The next one is chronoception. Oh, man. Do we all live this one every day? Chronoception. Time. So your sense of time. Why? Here's the typical. When you're on vacation, a week goes by in about 12 minutes. When you're at work, a week takes forever. Or if you're doing something you love, even at work, if you're doing something you love, the day goes by so quickly. If it's one of those slower tasks or something you don't like doing, your day goes by so slow. You look at your watch and you can't believe that it's only been 1 hour. It's felt like 4. So time is very elastic in our sense, and it's based on what we're doing and whether we enjoy it or not. What's something that goes by quickly for you, Alex? What's a fast? You can't believe how quickly.
Oh, my Saturdays, even today. I was like, because we said we were going to record at 1, and it was just, I kept looking at my phone and I'm like, oh my word, it's getting so close. And I couldn't believe how quickly my Saturday was flying by. And usually at school, I feel like my days go pretty fast just because of the speed of like on to the next class. Well, this year we did blocks instead. And so each class it's not switching as quickly. It's like you have a little over an hour with every group, almost an hour and a half. And so this year, for the first time, work and school have felt a little slower. Which has just been weird because I hadn't experienced it at this school. But Saturdays and Sundays, I'm like, they cannot have the same amount of hours. They don't.
Right. You go back
Monday and a Thursday have. It's crazy.
So yeah, that's chronoception. And it does change as you get older. Old people aren't kidding when they say, I can't believe it's February, whatever. I can't believe it's been a month already. Your mom and I, at our devotions, will say, I can't believe it's day 47 of this year, or whatever day it is. Those are real things. The older you get, time seems to go more quickly, whether you like it or not. So, and I remember being young, sitting in certain environments thinking my skin was going to crawl. It seemed to take forever and it would only be an hour. Now an hour goes by so quickly. It's amazing. So chronoception, it's a thing. We're just going to hit these real quick. Magnetoception. I just gave it away. What is it?
Something about sensing magnetism.
Yep.
And that's
literally like where true north is.
Oh, so it's like your sense of direction. Okay.
Yeah. Animal migrations. Would you be able to find your way? So if we dropped you in the middle of the woods and said, go north, would you have any? If
the sun was out, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you get to use the sun or not.
Just internally.
How could you wander yourself north internally? You'd be like, oh, I sense a vibration of magnetic, whatever.
I do not have that.
See, this is where a scientist would be helpful, but we don't have that kind of budget. We can't go get a scientist. So we're not sure what's happening, but I can tell you I don't have it. I don't even have magnetonominal, what is it? Magneticoception, even with a map.
Yeah. I have a good sense of direction. Like if I know, like Athens, I'm getting the hang of, but in Rockford, if I was in one place and I'm saying, oh yeah, I got to head over there next. Like if I'm at church and I got to go to Chick-fil-A, I could point in the direction that I knew Chick-fil-A was in, like, and be confident about that. And, or even I could get lost and be like, well, I know what area I'm in. I know what direction I have to head. So if I just keep going this way, eventually I'm going to hit something I know, like a road that I know. So I have a good sense of direction, but I don't think I would like out in the wilderness all by myself. That's a different level that I don't have.
I just don't think. And it's, the research does say we're obviously not like birds who just have it, but apparently we have some bit of it. I've never met anybody who go, oh, I know where, eyes closed. Oh, I know where north is.
I bet like Bear Grylls does.
If I spin you around. Well, yeah.
Those guys we used to watch on the show Man Tracker that could just like track somebody.
Maybe Man Tracker
they know.
knows. They know. He was amazing. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna work on that sense, my magnetoception. So those are six senses. See what I did there? We covered six sixth senses. I want you all to work on them. Get back to it, especially if you have one that you kill at. It's like you never bang into anything. You're like a cat. You could be dropped and you land on your feet, kind of like Spider-Man, something like that. We'd love to hear about it. But we'll let that go. We left a lot of room for actually comments. So if you want to actually us, feel free to drop those in the comments. We'd love to discuss them further. And if you're a neurologist and you're listening, there's very little chance. But if there's a neurologist that's listening, let us know. We'd have you on and we'd talk all this fun stuff. So, all right, Alex, it was fun spending this time with you. Anything we want to discuss as we wrap up this fine day?
What do you have going on this week? Anything big or exciting?
Anything exciting? Yeah. Oh, you know what? This could be a topic. We may need to discuss this. I may have to report. I am going to an RV show this weekend. Yep. Mother and I are getting crazy. We're going to the South Florida recreational vehicle show. Who knows what we're going to see? So we're going to go there and hang out, walk around, maybe dream a little. That might be something we want to do in our future. So we're going to go look at RVs. So I might have I think what might be the best part is crowd watching at the RV show. I can only imagine. We'll have to see. Yeah. So we might have to discuss that. I'll try and pick up on some themes, some commonalities that I see at the RV show that we can talk about. What about you?
We're doing our taxes. Really, really exciting stuff.
We can celebrate tax day. That's something.
So that is pretty much it. And I have Monday and Tuesday off. So I am looking forward to the little break.
That's good. Get them done because you don't want to go to jail. It'd be hard to do the podcast from jail, so we don't want that. All right. Well, my chronoception is telling me we should wrap it up.
Yep.
See what I did? I reverted back to what we talked about. That's what real podcasters do right there, talking about things they talked about in their podcast while they're talking. That's chronoception. So we'll wrap it up there. Alex, have a wonderful week. It has been a joy to talk to you. You're my joy child, Alexander Joy. And it's been a joy talking with you. Have a great week. And bye, podcast people.
Bye.
We'll see you soon.